What up, everybody? It's Brandy from Marijuana. So I just got done doing this other video, but what I wanted to tell y'all, excuse me, while I still remember, um, so we were talking about hallucinations and whatnot, which is fucking crazy. But like I said, I ain't never, ever, 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 ever in my entire life, okay, hallucinated. But let me tell y'all something about what I saw one day. So this was back in not no November. It was like November 11th, which now that I think about it is really strange because 11/11, okay, of 2018. So just recently, a couple months ago, I was and now wait, before I say this, I've always known that I was different. I just didn't know how different because I just assumed that everybody like I was like everybody else. So like I always thought that everybody could like pick up on people's energies. I always thought that other people could like read other people's minds like I could. Like, it's like I could see stuff, but everybody's like, oh, that's not real or that's not true. But it's like, oh, I know I'm not a schizophrenic. I've seen counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists. There ain't nothing fucking wrong with me. It's everybody else that is in this closed mindset that they aren't able to see or hear or feel what I do because they closed it off. I thought that I did that too. It's just that I really didn't. I just suppressed my shit because, like I said, I always thought, but people would tell me I'm weird or whatever. And, I just kind of like went in and just like whatever. So I always knew that I could see, hear, feel, blah, blah, blah. Because my skills have gotten me out of like, so when I lived out in Parkway, when I was like pregnant back in 2003, I was a CNA and I was like 7 months pregnant. And I just moved out to the projects, my ex-husband and I, and it was great. And then one day, and it's weird because, I didn't have nursing school or whatever that day, didn't have work. Yo, the fucking cops. I don't know. So I kept telling my ex-husband, I kept saying, yo, Isaac, we gotta go. Like, let's go. I want to go. We gotta go to your sister's. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Blah, blah, blah. And I know he remembers, but I don't know if he would really speak about it, but, in retrospect. But looking back, yo, how the fuck did I know that day that I was so adamant about being up at fucking 6, 7 in the morning, being like 7, 8 months pregnant, that I needed to leave. Okay. And then come to find out, my fucking house looked like I was in a story, like in a movie. The DEA, the fucking FBI, everybody was up my house. Like I was some kind of drug dealer. What? What did you find? Nothing? Okay, another situation. Let's fast forward a couple years. For some reason, I knew my transmission was going to go out when it did. For some reason, like I make my kids wear their seatbelts and I'll tell them. But this one time, Isis was a baby. We were taking Xavier to preschool. And for some reason, I just made sure, like, double check that they were all in their seatbelts. I don't know what it was, but, and I hit a deer that day. Like, or I have saved myself so many times from accidents because, my higher self or the higher source or a higher source was saying, you're like, yo, slow the fuck down or stop, or I still hear things or first thought and I'll know, I can't even explain how I know what I know because you would have to experience it type thing. But you people that are the mediums and psychics and in my soul group and blah blah blah, you guys understand what I'm saying, even though I can't say it or express it, but like it resonates with you. So anyway, I could always see stuff. So back in November of last year, I was really mad at Raven. about something. Something happened, and like her job had called, and she's in nursing. So if you don't show up to your job or whatever, or someone doesn't get the message that you were sick, and whatever, that's abandonment of residence. So I'm wigging out. I'm calling. I called her. She didn't answer. I called her, one of her, guy friends back then, one of her roommates, about blah, 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 blah. Then they called me, the job was calling me back, and I'm just like, what the fuck, where's my kid, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I can't, it was like, look, I know I've had migraines a lot when I was younger and blah, blah, blah. So I know what aura headaches are. I was a low vision, like ophthalmic technician for a low vision specialist. Okay. Dr. Joan and George Hayes in York, York Eye Associates. All right. I'm a medical assistant. I trained for 2 years. I've been a CNA for like fucking I don't even know, fucking 18 years. Well, whatever. Okay. I've been a mom for almost 20. All right, I know what the fuck rainbows and shit and energies and blah, 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 blah are. Okay, I've been reading tarot cards for a long time. So let me fucking tell you, okay? Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm just telling you. This is after I accepted the fact that I wasn't the same Brandy and that I was this big, I was a big deal. I was worth something. I could see this, and I was no longer going to let other people's whatevers define me. So I just found out my spirit guide's name and shit and stuff. Like, okay, so anyway, keep in mind too that I'm very analytical and logical. So with that being said, I'm sitting there, texting away, and all of a sudden, and I told you guys I get these surges, right? Like energy, like whatever. My fingertips go numb, and it just feels like pins and needles, and sometimes I get the fucking vibration and like tingles, and that again I can't explain to you other than that. But for me, it has a feeling, a sensation in it, then it goes from there. Like I get these thoughts about blah 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 blah. So anyway, so I'm texting on my phone, okay, and all of a sudden it looks like my hands, as I'm texting, that like my hands are fuzzy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I felt that tingle. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm moving my hand, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go back, analytical, logical Brandy. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm sitting there for another second or two later, scrolling, reading something, trying to distract myself. And then all of a sudden my fingers are this rainbow color, okay? Like an outline of each individual finger, okay? But you can see it as I'm scrolling, so it's like on my thumbs. Like, let me show you like this, So I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Then, okay, then this rainbow color outline, after I pull my hand away, it's like I can see it, okay? Then I put my phone down, look, no crack, no this, no that. I don't have my glasses on, no AR coat, no nothing, no nothing, no nothing. Okay? I put my phone down, and all of a sudden, right from the inside, okay, from the inside to right here to the outside, rainbow, aura color, all rainbow. That's it. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I stop. I'm like, okay, I didn't feel sick. I was a little freaked out because I didn't know what was going on with this color. Okay, because it went through my whole vision, what someone would call an aura migraine or whatever. Okay, it wasn't a cluster headache. I had no pain. I had just eaten. Bluff. I mean, I ran through, I swear to God, at least 25 scenarios in less than 3 seconds. And I'm like, nothing. And I'm scrolling just to make sure I'm not not dying. I'm like, and then I remember saying to myself and answering myself with my higher self, like, you're not going crazy. You're not dying. So just acknowledge. And I'm freaking out because my best friend said that she would call me back. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe I should call her. And I'm like, I see this color. Now it's just out of the corner of my eye, just, it's still a rainbow, just right here, and I'm like trying to ignore it. And it's been like 2 minutes and I went through Google and the whole aura migraine. I'm like, that's not it. I'm checking, I'm not dying. So that's not it, and I'm waiting for Jess to call me back, my bestie. And, so, and I'm like, okay, so I see this like, so out of the corner of my eye, it's this real, about as thin as this, okay? And think of it as this color, like a gray silver metallic, right? Just to the side, like a snake is coming out of the corner of your eye, okay? But it's that color gray, metallic, fluidy type with a rainbow. I mean, rainbow colors, not what a rainbow looks like. The colors in the rainbow were over top of this silver metallic, flight, like snake like, and it wasn't a snake, it's just the shape. Okay, now remind you, this is fluid metallic type shape. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's still there. I turned on Pandora. I'm trying to avoid it, but it's like it knows like I see it. Okay, and I'm just like, I'm trying to ignore it. Probably 2, 3 minutes, 4, 5 minutes went by, and this flowy rainbow metallic like snake type thing is just fucking chill. It doesn't look mad, and I wasn't scared. I was a little freaked out because I didn't know like what that was. So, and then and then I'm like, okay, I'm going outside because just in case I do die, and I am seeing things, maybe somebody else will see it too. Okay. No. So I go outside. All right. Now the fluid rainbow stuff is gone. Okay. All right. And like I said, it wasn't no aura migraine. I was not imagining that. I wasn't tripping because I did hit my blunt like 2 or 3 times. Same shit that I was smoking from like a week earlier. Blah, 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 blah. Still only hit it 4 or 5 times. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, motherfucker, this fucking, now the fluid thing that is chilling, okay? So it's like see-through white light, okay? Not like a ghost, but because it was like not denser, it was like lighter, like brighter, like bright, like the brightest fucking LED light that you could think of. And for some reason, I knew it was a guy, a male energy. And I'm just like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting out. And then I go out front and I'm sitting and I'm just trying to like pretend like I'm ignoring him. And, he, like, I don't see him. And he was getting closer and closer to me because he knew telepathically, like he was talking to me, and I remember, like, I know, Sam, I know it's you, but, you were freaking me out. And I'm like, okay, it's getting closer to me. He like, I can see him, and he doesn't look like a man, but I can feel the presence, and the energy. And it's not bad. It's a light. It's very light, like a light being. And like I'm gonna call it like a gassy fluid type water, non-water energy. And I freaked out and I said, I yelled to my spirit guide. I'm like, Sam, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. And within 5 seconds, bam, gone. Now, that was Sam, my spirit guide. I just manifested, like, because I'm just like, I was so worried and so this and so that, like, and I had been talking to him. He was just coming to me, to fucking chill, like the higher source, whatever. They were just coming to chill, make sure I was all right, because I'm very powerful. And depending on what I say and how I say it and the feeling that I say it with can be bad, so, but anyway, that's what I saw. And then some of the fucking things and shit that I hear now. So I was walking into my basement. I don't know if I told you guys this, or walking into my pantry from my kitchen. And I remember all of a sudden, like I didn't hear it, but I heard it with my clairaudience, which is clear hearing, which means it's like someone's like talking to you in a way, but it's not your voice. Okay, like I can't explain it. Okay, but it was like, what the fuck is she here for? I want to punch her in her fucking face. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, and so right then and there, like I always surround myself, but I was just because I wasn't really thinking about anything and I caught that, I was like, immediately. And I said, you don't belong here and you don't talk to me like that. Get out of my space. Go on. Okay. But it still freaked me out that even though I know what I'm doing and what I pick up on, this, it's not scary, it's freaky. I mean, it is a little scary because it's like I can see it when I hear it. It's like if you hear something like the way music's playing and then you like give it like an image, you know what I mean? So I do that too. I can feel or whatever and then create this like mental image, you know? Um when I'm just standing like cooking, I'll get shit too. Or I like go into a room and if someone makes eye contact with me, because I go right for the eyes, you know, and then as I'm looking at the eyes, like I'm listening, but I'm reading the lip, but I'm also getting like, hmm, I don't know, I can't explain that either, but it's like I get it and I feel it, hear it, you know, sense it. It's like then it like I can hear what somebody's thinking. It's like you ever say something out loud that you weren't supposed to say. So like that's what I pick up on from people. Um, but I still ain't no good with like fucking electronics and shit. That's crazy, right? Yeah, it is, I know. Um, what else? I like carry conversations on with people in my head. It's like you know, like the cats at my sister's house. I talk to those cats and whatnot, and it's a little weird. All right, well, that's all I really got for you. So I'd like to hear about what kind of crazy stuff happens to you. Deuces.